I'm sorry. I apologize.
To make it real quick and simple. So I got to YouTube and some stuff, and I came
across Spain all over again.
I believe it's called
I apologize.
Chicken and Rice.
Wow.
Hey, yo. Thanks for sharing part of your day with us. This is the Chicken and Rice Podcast. I'm Dodge P, and I'm here with my best friend, my confidant, my right-hand woman, the most beautiful girl in the world inside and out, my wife. Say hello, baby.
Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome. I'm Ray, and I'm so excited to share our journey and everything in between with you guys. The best part about it, I get to do it with my husband and my very best friend. I really couldn't ask for anything better than that. I love you, babe. You the shh. Now let's do this.
Yo, all right. Take two. Welcome to Chicken Rice Podcast, episode 42.
Take two.
Yeah.
Because what had just happened was...
What happened?
We were about a good,
5.
Was it only 5 minutes?
Yeah, it was only 5.
But we were yapping for 5 minutes.
You missed a great podcast.
And, okay, so everything has been off since
Yeah.
Lights, this, that, recording, not, clapping, not
everything.
Okay, so we were just talking and he realized we weren't recording.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the video and I'm going to put some just weird... I'm going to put some weird
put some
dubs.
Wu-Tang crazy fighting scenes in there. But yeah, we just got the yapping and
I looked over and I was like, yo, we're not recording. So it is what it is. It's okay.
Sit down, buddy.
Because we were just saying, I was asking where you been and you were like at home. And
pretty much just caught up in just everyday life and working a lot, trying to, I'm trying to retire in 10 years. So it's pretty much like just hustling and hustling and hustling.
Sure.
So
that's a scary word, retirement.
I think it's a beautiful word.
It is.
I think it's a great word. And I actually cannot wait to retire. But when I say retire, I mean like I could work on my terms. Like, one day a week, maybe 2, just to kind of break up the monotony a little bit.
Sure.
But I love being home so much. Like literally after the pandemic, I actually didn't want to go back to work. I got so comfortable being home, but I'm a huge homebody anyway. So, but we were talking about that. What else were we talking about?
So basically you were
podcast.
Like, I was like, if you would be so kind to like and subscribe, that helps us get our podcast out to the people who don't know how dope we are yet.
So, and I was basically saying that, the podcast is great for me because to me, I'll just look back when we're older as like as an album, things we talked about and stuff. But more so, this project was your baby. You originally wanted to write a book with me.
I still want to do that.
Called Chicken and Rice. And you actually decided to start a podcast. But I was just saying that I really don't like being on video. I feel like watching myself is really weird or just, I know this is how people see me. Because they look at me, but it's just weird to me. Like and then we kind of was saying like I prefer like the camera, like photo camera as opposed to a video camera, And then how pretty much everyone is a photographer anymore today because of the quality of just phone pictures. You just point and shoot is pretty much the same quality.
Everybody's a photographer without the skill. So I mean, you could still see some photos where you're like, oh, this is super dope. They do have some skills, but nowadays anybody could be a photographer and it doesn't take much skills to get your images up to a level where you have to question, like, is this person a professional or not? So I see people, and mentioning that, I see people all the time who call themselves photographers, but they're bad. They're not good. They're missing all the rules, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. So it is what it is. But a few years back when I was... when I had the photography studio, I had a couple photographers who wanted to move from still photography into videography. And I was like, videography is whack. Like, why would you want to do that? And so now I see like, I like doing video over still photography. So I feel like it pushes me. You outgrew it. Yeah, I outgrew it. And I feel like video pushes me. It pushes my skill set more than, normal photography does. Because when I was doing it, like I would spend photography, then the retouching, and then, everything else, the drone stuff. The one thing I can say about myself is when I put my mind to something, like I focus on that and till I perfect it in my eyes. And then after I perfect it, I get bored with it and I put it down. Right.
We were just talking about this too, how I saw an old friend and he was like, are you designing yet? Decorating houses or whatever, interior design? I said, no. And the reason why is because I'm really funny. Like I like to do I feel like I'm not super great at anything, but I'm good at a lot of stuff. So I feel like, like some people do one thing and they do it better than anyone else.
Sure.
And I don't think I have that. I think that I'm artistic, so I can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I can't I don't think I'm absolutely ridiculously great in anything. But back to the question, I'm not doing interior design. I was kind of helping one of my girlfriends to kind of try to kickstart a portfolio a couple years ago. And then I was like, you know what? It was a lot of work. Like I had to meet her at the furniture stores, do this, be on Wayfair and stuff for hours. Right. And it was like, it's a lot of work. And to me, I do stuff because I enjoy it.
Sure.
So when it becomes work, it no longer becomes enjoyable to me.
The joy leaves quickly.
Very quickly. And then it's like I went from loving something to hating it.
Right.
And I kind of really don't want that.
So I have to disagree with you on one thing. Like you, all the stuff that you actually do, like you're very good at. So I don't like to hear you say, "Oh, I'm not that good at these things," because I can only imagine coming home every day into a house that wasn't designed like this, and my whole attitude and energy would be different. So when I come home, not that I have bad days, I hardly ever have bad days, but when I come home and I step through that threshold, like my whole energy changes into something else.
Well, I think that's overall but it's also the home that we created and the atmosphere that we created in this home. And it's pretty much good energy. Right. And we always talk about this. It's like, if you have a stank attitude, don't come in my house because you're not bringing that energy into my house.
Sure.
So we don't really have a lot of people over because, I don't know, we just...
They don't come.
Just chill.
They don't come over. Pause.
Well, we do pause. All right.
Yeah. Chill.
But we really just like peace and quiet.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I definitely like peace and quiet. And, I had I had a friend hit me up last night he was telling me about some stuff he was going through with his family. And I was like, yo, I'm right down the street. You can come over whenever you want to. He was like, oh, you ain't got to invite me. I'm going to climb up the tree and through a window. And I said, you probably don't want to do that. But,
get yourself shot.
Get shot. Just knock on the door. I'm here all the time. And I say that, like, just come by, but I really don't mean it.
No, you have to give us a heads up.
Right.
Because we don't really like pop and stops.
I don't like pop and stops, and I don't like last minutes.
Me neither.
Yeah, so.
I must really be super cool with you for you to be like, all right, I'm in the neighborhood, and I'm actually getting ready to drive by your house. And then, depending on who you are, I might be like, oh, come on by. But or I'll be like, no, we ain't home. Well, your car, I'm not home.
Yeah, I Ubered to wherever I'm at. So yeah,
I walked.
Yeah, I walked. But I tell people all the time to, just come by, but I don't really mean it. So if I tell you that, just double check with me and be sure.
We mean it. We just give us a good heads up.
Okay.
Give us a good heads up.
Okay.
We literally have a house for entertaining. We just don't entertain.
Right. Yeah, I remember somebody was like, "Oh, you got one of the houses that you get from what's the name, and then you fuck it up." Remember somebody said,
"Yeah, like an Airbnb or something."
You got one of them Airbnb houses that you just mess up and leave, and I was like, "Wait, what?" I was confused.
No,
so don't come over if you think you want to jack some stuff up.
Yeah, don't.
And if you have kids,
don't do that.
Not a kid-friendly home. I don't know what to say.
It is if they're well behaved. I mean, you can't go around
How many kids
jumping
are well
on.
behaved though. Okay.
My goddaughter is great.
She's not a kid.
She's 12. She has her happy belated Misha.
Oh, that's like a tween.
My nephew's pretty good. He's 2. He's going to be 3 next month.
That's true.
He's good. We don't. Anyway.
Yeah.
They're fine. Kids are fine as long as they're not going to break anything or else. Just make sure you got some replacement cash.
Yeah.
To rebuy me my stuff.
Yeah. So listen, let's address the elephant in the room because I know it's crazy. Since the last time you see me, I have lost a ton of weight. To date, probably like 50 pounds since the beginning of February. So we talked about this before, maybe if you would rather have health or wealth, and we always choose health.
Health is wealth.
Okay.
And people forget that until they find out they're sick or until they find out, they have X amount of time to possibly live. And it's really scary because you can have everything in the world, but if you don't have your health, you have nothing.
Right. And so if you don't know, I'm 100% black. There's no Spanish. There's no Indian,
It might could be somewhere.
No. When I was growing up, every like light skin or good looking,
I got Indian.
Yeah, I got Indian. No, I'm 100% black as far as I know. So, what happened was, how do I start this? So I was never, what's the word when you don't? I never had a problem with my self-confidence. Like I always thought that.
Oh, big, small, otherwise. You were
big,
fine.
small, otherwise.
You was like, I'm the shit.
I'm the shit. Like, yeah, I move. However, I was athletic. I did everything. I thought I looked great in everything until I kind of look back at some photos now, and I'm like, ooh, I was kind of like out of shape and a little portly. That's what white people say, right? Portly. I was round, robust.
So, like a tomato,
right.
robust.
So basically what happened was I was beginning to get blood work done. And so a lot of like terminal diseases were setting in. Diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. What that leads to.
Well, let's just talk about diabetes alone.
Yeah.
Because my dog went blind in a matter of months.
No, it was weeks.
No, it was months.
Oh, okay.
He got diagnosed in the springtime, and by December, he was almost fully blind.
Okay, yeah.
But the blindness came on within a few weeks. He almost went completely blind.
Right.
He had pancreatitis.
Right.
And, you know, in humans, you can lose limbs and just sight. Like, diabetes is such a mean disease.
It's very mean.
And you have to really, like, be careful. And Americans, you know, the diet...
Sure.
It's already so bad.
Right.
It's high fat, saturated fats, cholesterol, all the things you shouldn't be eating that taste good that we got to, pretty much got accustomed to, that most people literally will say, well, I'd rather die than eat cardboard. Well, you will die.
Facts.
You will absolutely die, but you might go blind and lose a leg or two first.
Right.
So is it worth it? Now, I understand. I don't really drink. We don't really, get into have all these extracurricular habits or things that we do.
Right.
So food was like life.
Sure.
But then life is life.
So let me expound on that. So food is definitely life. However, for me, I wasn't able to eat well for 35 years. So we had to eat what we could afford. Most of what we could afford is not the best food for you. So you figure if you spend 35 years eating trash, what happens to your body? 10, 12 years after I started eating better, I can't erase those first 35 years. So get the blood work back. All these markers are in my blood work that says, listen, bro, you heading down the path that, most people of color, African Americans head down, which is diabetes, stroke, hypertension, all those other things. So what are you going to do? I really didn't have a plan. I thought I was doing everything that I should be doing. I would fast every once in a while, drop 20, 30 pounds. Once I stopped fasting, all that weight would come back on. Excuse me. I thought I was dieting, thought I was doing all the right stuff, but it just got, every time that I would lose weight, I would put more on. And then it got to a point where I was over 250 pounds at 5'6", which is crazy. I never felt like I was bad, but I was bad. Today I weighed myself, I'm under 200 pounds. I had surgery that would help me. I had the gastric sleeve surgery, which basically took 75% of my stomach out of my body. So now I really can't eat. So all my friends who I used to go out to eat with, they're
devastated.
Yeah, they're
devastated. They're literally like, so you're telling me, like,
exactly.
they can't get it through their head that, like, you will take 3 bites and you'll be full. Like, so our friend asked, he was like, so how many wings can you eat? But just like the wingettes. He asked me first before you got to the club.
Right.
So, like, how many wings? I was like, if we want to break it down to, like, wingettes, like drums and flats, probably about 3, maybe 4.
Right.
And he just couldn't get it. So when you came, he's like, so how many wings?
Right. So he's like, yo, bro, like, how many wings can you eat? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't eaten wings yet. Maybe 3. And like his whole face just dropped. Like he couldn't believe at the reduction in food that I can now house. And I said that I wasn't like a grazer. Like I didn't eat all day. So somebody said, explain to me. So I had to think about it. And I said, well, here's what would happen. We would go out. I would get a 12-ounce filet. I would get the lobster mac and cheese. I would get a salad. I would drink 2-3 drinks and get dessert.
And we had apps. So
and
you would have calamari, tuna tartare, all the apps. I usually order about 6.
Sure.
Because that's how I eat. I pick at everything.
And so as much as I was eating, I could never outwork the amount of calories that I was taking in. And so I guess being greedy or living well, like it set in, after all this time. So I had to make a decision, either like live fast and die young or like slow down and live longer. So my decision was to slow down and live longer. Kind of the best decision I ever made.
Next to marrying me. But
that's true. That's facts. Second best decision I ever made, in my life. And, I'm 6 weeks out from surgery and I'm feeling great. Like I said, today down 50 pounds. I'm slated to probably lose another 25, 20. But my goal is to put, lean muscle back on. So, in a couple of weeks, you see me, I might be hulking out of this shirt,
Okay, so I'm the opposite, right?
Why you look at me like, hold on a sec?
I had put on 40 pounds, but both of us didn't really look like we weighed what we weighed.
Correct.
So my weight, I guess, kind of distributed everywhere, but I a lot heavier than I used to be.
Sure.
And you at 250, our son looked like he weighed more than you, and he got you by a good, 6 inches or so?
Yeah.
And
at
he
least
was like 35 pounds less than you. So that says a lot, but we all carry our weight so different. You were solid though.
Right.
You did, have your belly, which I thought was sexy and cute. I like being hugged by a teddy bear. But anyway, but like your legs and your arms and everything were rock solid. So, we all carry it differently, but it was overall for health.
Sure.
And health is definitely wealth. Health, if you don't have it, I'm telling you, I saw a quote one time that couldn't be, it had to be the realest thing I've ever, read. And it was pretty much like, food could either be the, see now I'm coming to a blank, but basically saying something like it could be the best form of medicine or the slowest form of poison.
I believe it.
So you can either literally like eat yourself to health, or you can just kill yourself. And that's what brings on everything.
Yeah.
So now, I talk about this all the time, and I gave up beef 7 years ago and pork 5 years ago. I don't miss it. The only thing I miss, and I loved pork, is the Vietnamese hoagie.
Sure.
The original with the pate and stuff.
Sure.
The people who know. Yes. Adams Avenue. The lady makes the best.
Right.
But anyway, I haven't had any in so long. And it's like sometimes you may love something to a fault where it can kill you. So just, make some decisions here and there. I still don't eat the best, but I've gotten better. So
right. I think you'll get much better. I hope you'll get much better as, I go through this part of my life, because a lot of, I don't have any cravings for really anything. I have to remind myself to eat now, which is weird, because before I could just eat whenever. But now I don't even think about eating, which is strange. I have to take a bunch of vitamins because I'm not getting enough, through the food. Red meat, I may be giving up red meat soon. I don't know. I can't tolerate it now. Can't tolerate pasta now or rice, which I used to love. So a lot of things for me have changed over the last 6 weeks. And I just reactivated my Instagram last night. And I know people saw me and they probably thought I was sick. I'm not sick. I'm good. I'm actually more well than I was when I left.
Right.
So just so that y'all know, so that you're not worried, I'm A-okay.
Okay.
So what I wanted to talk about, crazy dreams. I don't know if you have crazy dreams or not.
I do. I don't remember them a lot because they're so crazy. It just doesn't make any sense.
So have you ever had a dream where something in real life happened, but it translated into your dream?
I believe so.
Like for instance, like a picture might fall off the wall in real life, but in your dream it will be like a car crash or something.
I'm sure I have.
So I was talking to my man a couple of weeks ago, and he was like, he had a dream. He had a dream. He had a dream that he was in like this urban environment and he was running from this bear. Like this bear was chasing him and making all this noise.
Okay.
So like he would run, he would get away, and then he would like look around the corner and he would see the bear again, and the bear would growl. Right? And it happened like 4 or 5 different places. And finally he woke up and the growling bear was his wife snoring. Yeah. So I was
That's great.
I was yo, like what?
That's great.
Yeah, like what so I've had that happen to me, but not with the snoring part, but like with like a picture falling off the wall and in real life it'll crash or something. Did I tell you about the guy who wanted me to meet his baby and I was like, no, I'm good?
Yes.
So I must be an asshole because I had a dream about his son. So finally one day we were somewhere and he was like, all right, Dodge, here's my son. And I was like, all right, I guess I'll meet him. Cool. I'm not a kid, dude. Like, great.
You're great with them, though.
Great, you had a kid, but you had a baby. That's cool. I'm not really interested in meeting him. So finally, I meet the baby. This is another dream. I meet the baby, and he pulls the sheet back, and the baby was like a mermaid. But it was a boy mermaid. I don't understand where these dreams come from or what they mean. So I don't know if I'm mentally unstable or what.
No, because dreams are crazy anyway. So I don't believe that has anything to do with that. It's just weird. It's just stuff that doesn't make sense.
I want somebody to interpret my baby mermaid dream.
Merbaby.
Mermaid. Like
merbaby.
So I don't.
Okay, so was it about a year ago, maybe a year and a half? I started watching Good Day. I love Good Day. Shout out to Mike and Alex and Karen and Thomas and the whole crew, right?
Who's the black chick?
Did I say her name?
No.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Alex.
Alex. I said Alex.
Oh, that's Alex?
That's Alex.
Okay. My bad, Alex.
Okay. So I was watching this thing, this particular subject. They talk about great stuff. Like sometimes I bring it back to the show because I think it's interesting, a topic, that's interesting to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a topic called, they were talking about puppy melons. Is that what
it is? Puppy melon on IG?
Puppy melons. So
what is that?
So what that is I think they got it confused about what it meant. And I guess the actual site wrote to them or like tagged them in something and explained what it was. But it was basically like, you know how Instagram have slides?
Sure.
So you can have 10 photos, up to 10 photos in a slide.
Right.
So when you click on it, it looks innocent, right? It's a picture of puppies and it's a whole bunch of picture of puppies. When you slide, it's like sexy women. So, hence puppy melons. So,
Mike loved that, didn't he?
Yeah, of course he does. So basically it was saying like, how would you feel if like your husband had to do something like that or whatever. But anyway, puppy melons, what they did was but it was like famous women and stuff, like actresses and everything.
Just pictures they pulled from the internet.
Sexy poses and stuff. Yeah. Okay. So, but they were saying that it was actually women who ran it. And it was actually
that's dope.
Pulling, the men to get involved. And I think the certain proceeds or something like that or whatever actually went to helping the animals.
So they were selling something.
I'm not sure if they were selling, but I think if you have like so many followers and stuff, you know how all that stuff works you get paid. Okay. Now, I don't know exactly, all the intricate stuff behind there, but basically what I wanted to ask you was, would you feel like you would ever have to do, now I don't go through any of your stuff.
Right.
To whether it's look at something, watch something. Do you feel like you ever have to hide anything from me?
I don't hide anything from you. So
for you to have to follow like a fake page so you can see pictures of like half naked women?
No, because I'm going to look at it anyway.
Right.
So like, and a lot of people don't understand that. For instance, when we went out the other night, I went to the game the other night, Sixers and somebody.
I don't remember.
Dallas,
okay.
Sixers in Dallas. Afterward, we stopped by your job. So the dude I went to the game with, he was like, "Oh man, when I called you and said I had tickets, you would just start right away." I said, "Yeah, because he's like, you didn't have to get permission." I'm like, permission?
Grown ass man.
Like, I don't understand what you're talking about. I had to get permission to go to the game. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it. I'm going to inform you.
Sure.
If we have something going on, I put whatever else he might have had on hold because I like spending more time with you than I would with him or even at a basketball game. But I said, first, I'm a man first. And I tell people this all the time. I'm a black man first. Then I'm a husband. Then I'm a father. So, and I move through life in that order. And I've always moved through life in that order. And part of the issue is a lot of dudes they swap that order around when they meet women to try to make them happy. And I say all the time, I even said in my post, I know that I'm selfish, but my selfishness is beneficial to the people that I love. So imagine if I was up in your grill like 24/7.
No, we not. No.
Right. Or
no.
you, me.
We're in, of course, the same house, and we're both off or not working at that particular time. But you're in your office a lot, and I'm up here watching my, ID channel,
sure.
my shows, and doing, my own little thing. And then we gather and get together when we do.
Right.
It's like you do your own thing. You have a lot of your own stuff going on. I got my own stuff going on.
Right.
So I don't need or want you to be up under me and vice versa.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could have your space. That's fine. But we actually enjoy spending time together. Like during the pandemic, we actually did not get tired of each other.
Right.
Being home. You were working from home and I wasn't working.
Sure.
So, it was 8-9 months of like just being around each other, and I didn't have a problem with it.
It was great.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I have a security screen on my phone, but it's not to block you from seeing it.
Right.
It's to block people like in the elevator from seeing it, or somebody sitting next to me. But
and I don't care either.
like,
I'm not gonna be like
I'm on my phone down, face up. Like if I'm gonna look at a sexy chick, I'm gonna look and I'm gonna keep it pushing. It's just what men do. Like there's no question about like my manhood and what men like.
I probably look at sexy women more than you, because I look at sexy women more than I look at sexy men. To me, a sexy man is kind of like fully clothed, nicely dressed, like not like firemen, topless, naked,
sure,
with like a puppy on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I don't get
they
it.
have calendars and stuff like that, which is great. It's fine for them, but like, I don't think, ooh, yes, that's hot, that's sexy. Nah, like I'm like, okay, he got some swag, he dresses nice.
Sure.
I like his kicks.
You know what I mean?
Stuff like that. So, right. But women, it's like, oh, she's pretty, she's bad, she's gorgeous. Women like pretty things.
I guess. I mean, and women are a different, like a totally different breed. Of course, they are than men.
Women, we're weird. We're weird. We're like do more for the same sex than we do for men. And men thinks it's for them, and if that makes them feel great, cool. And some women, they do. They're going out there because they're trying to hook.
Sure.
Real, you know what I mean? But like,
yeah, women they see each other. Oh, girl, you look good.
Yeah,
men don't do that.
We talked about this before. You can't be the scrub out the group. Now I look like a scrub, probably about 22-7, right? I probably look like a bum or homeless most of the time. But when I go out and I work, and then I get myself together.
Right.
But I'm all about comfort anymore. But women do stuff for women, for the most part.
Yeah. So no, I'm never hiding or never have to feel like I hide something from you. Even like when you I'm like, here, look at this. Some people hand their phone to their other person and they be like,
or like you, like, I'm trying to fix something. I'm like, well, here's the passcode. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I deal with computers for a living. Like, you could tell me, you tell me multiple times, I don't remember.
Plenty of times.
Yeah, I barely remember mine. If it wasn't for Face ID, I'd be in trouble. I've been locked out of my computer.
Me too. I'd have been locked out of everything, every shopping thing, everything. I'd be locked out.
No, so I don't hide anything from it. I don't have a reason to. Like, I'm all man, all mammal. Who said that? Red man? I'm all mammal. And so it is what it is. Like, I like what I like, and you know what I like, and we kind of like the same thing. So
all mammal though?
Yeah, all mammal. All mammal. I want to, before we continue or before we continue, I want to shout out like Joel Embiid playing his ass off, James Harden, Tyrese Maxey,
Matisse Thybulle,
the minivan. I want to shout out the whole. I appreciate what y'all doing this year. You've been.
We could talk about the Sixers forever because we are a huge Sixers fan.
You've been a pleasure to watch this year.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ben Simmons, for messing up so that we can see the potential in Tyrese Maxey, who is a rising star and who's going to be a star player. He's gonna kill it because he's like a sponge, being 21 years old and absorbing everything that the greats have to offer to teach him.
Right.
And that's what you do to be great. You don't take criticism and then feel some type of way about it. You take constructive criticism, even if Embiid says you played like trash. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that was great.
And you laugh about it. And then you just get better. You practice, you get better. His, 3-point shots are
41%.
It's getting better and better. And he's so fun to watch. The last not the last game, but the game from last week. At first, I heard Embiid wasn't playing, and I was like, okay. And we were playing against Miami, the number 1 seed in the East.
Correct.
And I'm like, okay, Embiid's not going to play. And then I come home from work because I work during the day on Mondays, and then they were like, oh, Harden's sitting out too, and I was like, oh, wow, okay. So, I still wanted to see the game, and it was one of the best freaking games. It was the energy was amazing.
Right.
Maxey, all you got to do is watch the fourth quarter. Let me not say that, because Corky did his thing, and so did everyone else. Shake Milton, they all stepped up, and they killed it. But Maxey, that fourth quarter... That young boy is going places.
Yeah, I just appreciate the product that you're putting on the floor every night. Like, I couldn't ask. Like, I have some friends who are Knicks fans. I don't understand it. That's all I have to say.
Okay, so we're going to the game on Tuesday. I'm so excited about it. We're going to see Giannis.
Yes.
And the Bucks play, and we're third row.
Sure.
So we're so excited. I can't wait. You think I'm going to be spoiled after? We've sat close before.
I know, but
I appreciate basketball more. That was years ago. That was like
you
4
didn't
years
you didn't
ago.
really know the game then. Now it's like,
right. I know the game. I know the players.
Right.
I really, really appreciate it. And I think since I started watching basketball, this has been my favorite team with all the players put together.
Yeah, of course.
As of right now. You know what I mean? And there were players that I liked here and there. I got sad when they left and all because, girl kind of attached to certain people.
Sure.
But I really, really love the team now. Like, it's fun. It's very exciting, very fun to watch. The energy is great. So
we'll end on this. Speaking of, I have actually 2 more things, but
okay.
the last thing is really, let's tackle the last thing first. So I was just watching a TV show, right?
Right.
A game show. And the clue was, what was the clue? The clue was, hold on, I can tell you. Because the clue was, my wife loves when I tickle her blank, and the clue was the letter N. So my wife loves when I tickle her N was the answer to the beginning of the word. Somebody said knee. Yeah, I don't know if that happens in other countries where like people get on TV, like shit where you're supposed to be like intelligent and something like that happens. You see the letter N and you just say knee. I was so confused. And how embarrassing is that when you sit back and watch like, oh, I'm going to be on tonight.
Knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, knee.
Yeah. Lady, get it together. Next time you go on national TV. So speaking of going out, when we go out now, I'm just eating 2 things. What is a thing? I'm eating like 1 or 2 bites of something and then I'm done. A drawback of the surgery is that I can't eat and drink at the same time. I have to wait like a half an hour between either or. That part's pretty tough. But we went to this place called the Sugar Factory. Ladies and gentlemen, save your money. So in our defense, it was for my baby girl's birthday. So save your money.
She chose the place. It is a total Instagram place. The atmosphere is cool. It's a little too gimmicky for me. The drinks are straight sugar, and I like sweet drinks. I like to not really taste the alcohol, but when it really feels like I'm just drinking grape soda, it's like, y'all charge me $25 for this to drink like a grape soda?
And if you get a shot, if a drink has 1 shot in it, fam, you getting 1 shot. In that drink we had, that grape, whatever it was.
It was 1 shot.
It was literally 1 shot in a, 10 ounce.
It was a drink. Pretty big cup. It wasn't those giant ones, but we're not doing all that.
Yeah, it was bad.
But the food is so subpar. The food was terrible, actually.
It's expensive for what it is.
It's because you're paying for the atmosphere. Kids love it, and that's how they get it. That's the gimmick. They get famous people to push the product, and the product isn't great. But I'm like this. If the venue has the look and the atmosphere and the energy, and it's fun and people are taking pictures and why not make the food good? Like, why not just make it all great? Why just spend so much time on how it looks, and then when you're there for actually what you're there for, which is to eat and drink, that the food is trash? I don't understand it.
We had the
popcorn chicken, which the popcorn shrimp. Popcorn chicken.
No, we had the popcorn breading. Yeah.
It was literally just breading.
We had popcorn breading, and I was pissed.
Yeah. And even like the marinara sauce was weird. It was weird. And then I had the Asian chicken salad, because I don't eat burgers and all that kind of stuff, which is basically what they had.
Sure.
And I actually just kind of ate the salad, which was kind of like the bag salad, for like coleslaw or something. And then the chicken was so cardboardy. It was just so hard and chewy and flavorless that I ate most of the salad and just left all the chicken, which is usually the opposite. I would eat, the meat, pause, and then leave all the other stuff. But it was bad. Yeah, I don't recommend it at all.
We've had Vandicamp.
Ooh.
Right?
What?
Vandicamp? Is that the
what
fish?
What is
that? The shit you pop in the oven? The shrimp and shit you pop? What's the brand?
Vandicamp.
I just, maybe I'm old. Maybe that's
C-Pack?
See, I don't know what it is.
I never heard that.
Whatever
in my
you
life.
buy and put in the joint.
Okay, so yeah, like when
the
I'm
shit
lazy,
that you do is better than what we had.
When I'm lazy and I don't feel like really getting into cooking, we just sometimes just pop some C-Pack.
Okay.
Into like the breaded shrimp or whatever into the oven, and then and it's crispy and it's good and whatever. I'm not sitting there frying anything or doing all that crazy stuff. It's too messy. It's too much. But it was just bad. It was bad. Don't recommend it at all.
I want to say Vandicamps is a brand.
I've never heard of it.
If somebody want to check me, go ahead.
So,
maybe it's no longer in service. Maybe it's no longer in business.
I've never heard of Vandicamp. I thought you was trying to mash two words together and you just made a mistake.
I've never born at night, but not last night. Vandicamps used to be huge, and it came in the same color, like yellow. Maybe all frozen seafood is yellow boxes. I don't know.
I've never heard of Vandicamp, so I'm gonna have to look it up myself because I think you just made that up.
Put something on it, and we'll see next time.
All right.
Believe me, the first 5 minutes wasn't taken. Boom, boom.
Oh. Vandicamp? What in the world?
Look it up. It's real.